If you're from Nigeria, with all the craziness of what's going on, Nigeria is still a really good country and the opportunities are still there. So many industries have like untapped potential.
Meet Mr. Solomon, a UK-based Nigerian building not just a business here in Nigeria, but a legacy.
People are coming in and buying land, buying all the lands. And very soon you just wake up and find that even Nigerians cannot afford to buy land in their own land again. Abroad, you can't even buy land abroad. Now your own home country, you can't afford to buy land also.
After over 20 years abroad, he came back home to build an empire, an animal farm, a feed mill, and a veterinary pharmacy.
I've been there for like 20 years. I went to secondary school there, went to college, went to university there. There'll be more and more people that feel like will be coming back home, think about investing back home there. I mean, there's so many things going on right now. But there's a thing that say UK is bad vibes. The UK where things should be regulated is out of control right now. Things are just stupidly expensive. British people themselves, everybody's like looking for places to travel to.
This isn't just a small start. It is a strategic expansion. It is legacy level. And today, we are telling that story right here on the Legacy Level series.
Can you tell us about yourself?
Okay, my name is Solomon. I'm the Managing Director of Money Dew Farms, also known as MD Farms, and we're based in Badeku in Ibadan. So I feel very privileged that you're in our farm today to speak to us and stuff.
Starting up a poultry farm can be a huge challenge, most especially in Nigeria. So what inspired you to start and how was it like in the beginning?
Okay, I'll say like it's been a journey of maybe like 10 years. I'll say from when we first acquired the land, so we acquired the land maybe around 10 years ago, maybe even longer than 10 years actually. Somebody showed us the land and we just bought. I just graduated from uni at the time. So myself and my mom, I think we went like 50-50 and, we bought the land together. I just thought, let's just buy land. We don't know what will happen later. So we acquired the land and tried maybe doing plantation first, like trying to plant plantain and corn and whatnot. It didn't really, go the way we wanted it to go. So when I was actually there, I started learning about poultry farming. Actually, this is more nicer, easier to manage, I guess, to some extent. So then we've been doing it, but we've been actively like raising chicken and poultry farming for at least the last 3-4 years. We're currently seated on a 4-acre land. We've divided up in so many sections, as you can see. So we have like the 2 cages, 2 pens. So it's 5,000. So that's 10,000 capacity for the layer side. And then behind us, we have our, we call it brooding pen, or we do broiler in there also. So it's like divided into 2 sections. So it steps down. So that takes around 2,500 to 3,000 roughly, so we can, depending on how much space we want to give them, so about 3,000. And then currently under construction we have like an extension to that which will hopefully take around 5,000 capacity. Probably fit a lot more, but we're just sort of average around 5,000. So the plan is for us to be able to, between the two, 10,000, so that way we'll always have birds to stock in our 2 pens. Then in between we'll do broilers also, and then we'll do the point of lay for other farmers also and sell them. So that's part of our plans here.
Oh wow, that's great. So apart from the birds, I'm seeing other animals around.
Yeah.
So you do other things as well?
Yes. We introduced the livestock, I think probably like at the start of last year, so only like a year now. We're just okay, the land is there. Sometimes cutting this grass is a nightmare. When it starts raining, everywhere is full of grass. So just okay, what can we do to cut down cost of labor and everything? Okay, just buy goats, just put them inside, they'll eat, just help. At least they basically working on the farm. They're basically working on the farm as well, so they eat the grass, and then then we build like a small house for them also there at the top, so obviously we have bigger plans for the livestock side. Like I want to do, I think if you watch a lot of the South African videos, the way they do like the houses for their goats is quite, it's very different and everything like that. So we plan on introducing such kind of system and everything like that. But for now, we just built something, temporary for them, so they can just sleep there at night and they can drink their water there. So I think we have about maybe 20 or 30 goats and whatever like that. Like we have 4 cows. 2 of them are here now. The other 2 we've taken them for some treatments, and they will bring them back into the farm. So they're still a little bit far from being selling them. We're just raising them now to just give us more kids and stuff like that. So yeah, so we want it to be at least, our target is maybe have like close to 100 or so, so we're still in the early stages, so we're not selling them just yet.
Have you ever lived outside Nigeria before?
Oh, definitely. I actually live in Manchester.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, UK, Manchester. So yeah.
Okay, so you still do?
Yeah, I still do. Yes, but obviously I was born in Nigeria.
Okay.
Then I traveled with my parents.
So how long have you lived in the UK?
Well, I've been there for like 20 years. I went to secondary school there.
All right.
Went to college, went to university there.
Really?
Grew up in the UK, yeah.
And after spending such a long time, you remembered Nigeria.
Yeah, I mean,
This place to come back home and invest. That's very, very
like
good.
before it wasn't like, for a while, it wasn't like, when I was a bit younger, or say when I was like in college, it wasn't cool to be Nigerian, everybody used to like, we all used to present like you're Jamaicans and all of that kind of stuff, but I guess in the last 10 years or so, things have really changed. That people are more proud to be like, oh, I'm Nigerian, I'm Nigerian, I attribute a lot of that to maybe the success of like Afrobeats, because that, that and Nollywood, I would say, that's kind of shown showing the lifestyle, because before everybody said, Nigerians are 419, that was like the old, what people used to say. So slowly, like, you can put like Americans and Nigerians side by side. Like you said, Nigerians are even, in terms of their lifestyle and everything, we're even higher up, than you understand. So there's like a pride thing, in being a Nigerian. There's eventually like, there'll be more and more people that feel like will be coming back home. British people themselves, everybody's like looking for places to travel to. They're going to the Philippines, going to Malaysia, going to Dubai, you understand? So everybody's looking to explore other places, you understand? So like, and if you're from Nigeria, like Nigeria is actually like, with all the craziness of what's going on, Nigeria is still a really good country, and the opportunities are still there, you understand? So it makes sense, for me to come back and invest where I was born.
There are two aspects to every farmer knows of: you produce, then after production you have to sell, right?
Yes.
So how do you manage, to stand out in terms of with your competitors and in terms of sales? Yeah.
Early stages we used to try to sell. We had loads of buyers in Ibadan, but after a while you just find out that they always try to beat the price down. Just start taking our eggs to Lagos. So we have like 2 buses on the farm that we used to carry the eggs to Lagos. So we have a depot in Lagos that we take the eggs there, and then the people in the area, they come and buy. So we have like people that buy in wholesale from us, and then they'll go and resell to their own customers also. So we take deliveries to Lagos every week to go and sell there. So we find out the market is a lot better. Apart from having a depot in Lagos where we sell our products, obviously pricing is very important to your customers, So one of the things that helps us to keep our price down is the fact that we have our own feed mill, so milling your own feed obviously helps to, like I said earlier, 80% of our cost of the farm is the feed, so if you're able to save some percentage on the cost of production, obviously you pass that savings on to your customers, So like I said, they buy from us in wholesale, so they are able to make profits, more profit than they would from other people also, So I think the feed mill has been a lifesaver. So it's really helped us to kind of drive down our cost, from what it was before, to what it is now. So yeah. So welcome to our feed mill.
Okay.
I'll just show you around.
All right.
Just watch your step. We're
all right.
We're doing an extension. Like I mentioned before, we're just extending the feed mill. So we're building more store rooms and some offices upstairs. So previously we were milling our own feed for our birds for maybe like a year now. So, but now we're ready to start selling the feed
to other farmers.
Yeah, to other farmers. Yes. So that's why we felt the need to have store houses and offices and everything, so that when our customers come, they have somewhere comfortable to sit in, and make payments, which is very important. And then store houses for storing all the feed and everything after production. Yeah. I'll show you the feed mill first, and I'll show you some of the store houses here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so this is the feed mill. It's a 4-ton capacity. Okay. So per hour.
Wow.
So 4-ton capacity. So that's 4,000 kilograms, I believe. Yeah. So
Okay.
so yeah, 4 tons per hour. So yeah. And these are the like remnants of the materials that we had from our last production.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't really like do production every day?
No, not every day.
Oh.
No, so like last time we produced, usually every time we produce enough for our farm for like maybe like a month or every 2 weeks.
Okay.
You know, so we produce in batch for like 2 weeks. So that way we'll look at the things that the birds need. You know, sometimes maybe they need more calcium or they need more protein or whatever like that. You know, so we adjust our formula for that production to meet the requirements of the birds. You understand? So that way, that's the benefits of milling your own feed. You can customize, you know, what you're giving your birds rather than just standard off the shelf, you know, feed that we're buying from the market.
How has it been? Because I know I've had the privilege and the honor to speak with a lot of poultry farmers, and they all seem to have challenges, because we know poultry farming actually in Nigeria, we know it can be very challenging. So what are some of those challenges and how have you been able to overcome them? Yeah.
I think we'll be here for a long time. The challenges is many. I think I should say there are many. The main one is definitely staffing. You know, staffing is a major challenge. You know, I don't know why, but I think a lot of people don't want to go into farming. You know, they don't want to work on a farm. So staffing has been a challenge. You know, but, you know, slowly we're finding our own people that, you know, that like what we do and they support what we do. So, you know, we're overcoming that challenge slowly. The second one that every farmer can relate to is probably feed. You know, the expenses of, you know, having a farm. Feed, cost of feed is not, you know, probably accounts for around 80% of our cost, you know, so, and with the way things are going up and down all the time, you know, it's a massive challenge. Things change every day. So that's been a challenge also, but we've been able to address, you know, that, which we showed you earlier with feed mill. So we're able to address those, kind of reduce those challenges a little bit. So I guess another challenge, you know, is, you know, trusting your suppliers, you know, because sometimes you can go to all these, hatcheries and people that sell birds and everything, you know, it's okay, I want to buy 12 weeks old bird. They tell you it's 12, they might even tell you it's 14 weeks, you know, and you buy them thinking, okay, when they get to my farm, I'll feed them for 5 weeks and they'll start giving me eggs. And then you find out like 2 months, you're still feeding, egg is not dropping, you know, 12 weeks you're feeding, egg is not dropping, you know, so that was a challenge, you know, at the start as well. But again, we've been able to just adapt and, okay, like just do our own, raise our own birds ourselves, you know, so that way we're able to give them the right medication, you know, from the start. We know exactly the age. We know, okay, this is what they should be performing. Their performance should be at this week or that week. Few challenges, but again, you learn and you grow with the challenges.
So now that you're ready to start selling to other poultry farmers, are there any quality control measures you've put in place to ensure that you've produced come up with the best quality?
Yes, most certainly. So yes, so like I said, we've been producing for ourselves for 1 year. So that has given us time to refine the formula, know exactly, you know, what should go in and to give us the desired results, you know. So we have a nutritionist, you know, that works with us. So he has over 20 years of experience, you know, working for different big farms. I don't want to mention their names because, you know, he still consults for other farms also. We have a vet doctor also. So, and every time we produce the feed, we take it to the lab to, you know, get tested, you know, so we take it to a lab in Ibadan, and also animal care, poultry animal care also in Lagos also. So they test the feed to ensure that it has all the right nutrients that the birds need to give you the desired result, you know. So those are the control measures that are put in place. We're also, you know, sourcing our maize, you know, which is like the core materials that go there from the right farmers to ensure that the maize is dry before it comes to, it's not wet, you know, so it's not giving you like, you know, it's not moldy and all those kind of things, you understand? So all those measures are in place to ensure that the quality of the product is good. And like I said, we're using it ourselves for 1 year. So now that we've done that, we know that, okay, you know, this meets the standard, and we've tested other products also without mentioning their names, you know, and, you know, we feel like we're confident that our products is yes up to standard, even better than some products.
What's the profit margin like when it comes to?
For which side, like the old farm or just the birds?
Let's say like the birds.
Since we started doing our own feed, we've been able to regain some of that 80% that goes to the feed, millers, So I'll probably say at the moment maybe roughly around 20% we're seeing, so which I guess is not too bad. So and that's like after paying all our expenses and everything like that. So paying the staff, obviously there's maintenance cost also, which I think a lot of people don't talk. When people are talking about farming online, there's talk about how profitable it is, but everybody leaves out the cost of maintenance. Like it costs to build. So you have to think, okay, are you putting money back into renovating the space, making sure that things are not falling apart? Even the cost of building the place, are you putting back in? So, but I think overall we're still seeing around 20% profit on
monthly.
Monthly. So I don't know what the industry standard is, but that's where we are now. So we're pushing to obviously see more. So we pray we see more.
All right, that's fine. Are there any new technologies that you've adopted to make your work easier and to improve your productivity in the farm?
Well, I mean, our farm is not like automated, farming like the ones that maybe we're seeing online now, so things are still done manually. But I guess in terms of our record keeping, we're very big on record keeping. So, we detail, our daily production. We obviously, like I said, knowing the age of the birds helps us to know, what age they are, what medication do we need to give them. We know what we're expecting of them production wise. So you're not expecting, a bird that is maybe 60 weeks old to be giving you 95%, production. So data management, keeping our record, that's like the main technology we're using.
What can you tell us about the market? Would you say there is a ready market, or do you have to start looking for customers and start creating your own market when you start, just in case of those that want to start business? Yes.
Yeah, I think the demand outweighs the supply. I feel like there's people want eggs all the time, so there are people that are selling eggs. So it's just a case of building your own community, So maybe, when we first started, we were selling to people in our area, near like Ring Road, Bashan area, so that's the area that we stay. So we spoke to all the market people in that area. So, okay, we're selling eggs and how much should you buy? So we built that initial community there, and then slowly then the word will go around, you understand? So, word of mouth obviously helps, and more recently we're trying to use social media to sell product. But social media, people they'll talk, you type before they make an order, so but obviously, like, I guess it's them, you're trying to build their trust with them, so social media obviously is a good way. So maybe for anybody starting, I'll say your first point is look around your local community. Where do you buy your own eggs from? Go to that person, auntie, or okay, you buy eggs, who supplies your eggs, and then from there you widen your net a little bit more and look for more people. Market is there for the egg, but you have to just do small work to reach out to those people.
How do you feel about imported feeds? Do you think it is high time Nigerians started investing in local feed production?
I 101,000,000% agree with you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense that we're importing feed. You understand? We have Nigeria as the land. You have people that are willing, but I guess the cost of setting up a feed mill, it's not cheap. So it's not something that somebody can just get up and do immediately, so definitely, if there's a way, I don't know how, but if there's a way the government somehow can support, farmers, I told you earlier that we have our own feed mill, and now we're getting ready to start selling our own feed also, you understand? So we understand the challenges that people go through, the costs are high. Sometimes I feel like they're higher than they should be, from people that are producing the feed. Obviously, they're trying to make profit and everything like that, but there should be some ethical ways to to making profit, so very soon we're just completing some stages now. We're going to start selling our own feed, and we're going to be more affordable than other people that are producing feed. We're not having to buy so much medication for the birds, just because we're putting the right things inside the feed, so I think we're confident now that we're going to start selling our own feed to people. So yeah, I know you have lots of followers and, your farmer community. So please, if you guys are in the Ibadan, Badiko, Egbeda sort of axis or whatever, very soon once we start, we'll invite you again to come and see our feed mill properly, show you live and direct the production. So then your audience can see. But we plan on being at least, 10% cheaper than everybody else out there. So to go back to your question, definitely the government should ban people importing feed, because you don't know what they're putting into your feed also, do you understand? So, and once they've imported the feed, how can you test what they're putting inside? You understand? People will just buy it. But if we have somewhere that's controlled by the government, they will ensure quality control. People are not putting back toxins inside feed that the chicken will not eat. Loads of children are eating. I feel like one of the consumers of egg, the most consumer are children. When they go into school, parents boil egg from there, cook egg for them every day. So how do you expect your child to perform to their capacity when you're already mixing toxins inside the feed, and then from young, so you understand. So those kind of things it's not really good. So, but if the feed is done locally here and they're able to send government officials to go there randomly, test the feed, test, okay, what's the quality? I know that, it helps you to ensure that people are having longer, they're eating healthy eggs, not, chemicalized feed or whatever like that. So, yeah.
Are there any challenges that you've encountered since you started producing your own feed?
When maize is scarce, then, you need to work hard to find, and that's why we gave ourselves that 1 year period. So now we have a database of producers, farmers that are producing, that are milling corn all the time. So as to ensure that any time of the year we're able to source, maize from them. So we're expanding, building that so we can store here. And also at the farm, we have store houses inside the farm also. So the plan is we'll buy in bulk, and then we can store some here and store some also on the farm. So anytime we need corn, we just drive over there, bring the corn over here. So that way there will never be a shortage of materials for us to produce the feed here.
Do you have any intention of selling outside Ibadan?
Yes, most definitely. So we're currently building our website. I think everything needs to be digitized now, you understand? So we're completing our website shortly. So before we launch, our website is morningdewfarms.store. So you'll be able to check online, order your feed, and then you come and pick up from our depot here, or we're gonna have depots along the highway and everything like that, or we can deliver to you. But obviously you have to factor in the cost of delivery and everything. Most of the bags that are produced are like 25 kg, 50 kg bags, and we understand that you might have someone that started farming recently today, maybe they have 50 birds, buying a bag of 25 kg might be too much for them, so we're introducing different bag sizes. So we're introducing a 5 kg bag, so that way they're easy to carry. And for maybe people that are in the diaspora and they have a farm in Nigeria also, people don't have to lie to you about the cost of feed. They will tell you cost of feed is 30k when it's actually 25k, you understand? But the prices will be there on our website, so you can easily just go on there yourself, log in, you order, you create an account, your farm manager. So when we need to deliver, we know exactly who to contact. You get your invoices, you get your receipts. So when you're doing your accounts, maybe you want to go for a bank loan or something, all those things documents keeping are very important for those things. So that's the reason why we're making the website, for that reason, just for transparency. So
yeah, you said something about governments and all. Are there any policies that they have made that affects your business directly or indirectly? And then is there any regulation that you think they should put in place to help poultry farmers in Nigeria?
In terms of policies that they should put in place, definitely the first one you touched on, they should ban importation of feed. Even importation of chicken, also, I think they should ban that also, and they should invest in infrastructure. I believe like each local government or community area should have, something that's set up for farmers in those areas you get. So that way, anytime you need help, you can go to those people for advice and support. A lot of us, we turn to internet for information. You understand? We're watching channels like yourselves, we're learning from other farmers as well, but there should be, maybe there is, but at least in these 4 years that we've been here, I'm yet to see. It will make life a lot easier and more encouraging for people to go into farming. They're shouting, let's go back into farming. Youths go into farming. But, how many youths can shoulder being it with, you wake up one day, feed that something that maybe cost you 1,000 naira is now 3,500, times how many birds you have on your farm. You run young people into depression because, how do you shoulder those kind of things, but if the government really wants, if they really pushing this agenda of young people should go into farming, then infrastructure should be put in place to support. You understand? We're not saying give people stuff for free. You understand? It's not really, nobody's asking for free because nothing is free, you understand? But at least let it be that, okay, they can come there and those help and advice are there. Okay. We have a fish ponds, some fish ponds there, and then pig.
Okay, pigs.
Yeah, pig house. No, pigs are not there yet.
Okay.
So we're just waiting for like staffing. Staffing is a massive problem.
Yeah.
So finding the right people, that will manage it. So
judging from your experience, what do you think about investment in Nigeria?
Yeah, and I think is a great idea. You can see, what we're doing on at Money Farms. You can see it's not, it's small, but it's not small.
It's not a small project.
Yeah, it's not. Everywhere you look, you see there's projects going on left, right, and center. So and we're doing that because we believe in Nigeria, and we believe that the opportunities are very much untapped.
Yeah.
Especially agriculture. Even there's so many industries have like untapped potential in Nigeria. So we've chosen agriculture, farming because it's just something that I really enjoy it. Like I'll probably, in terms of maybe studying, I'll say I probably spent like 10,000 hours watching videos on YouTube about farming the last like 5-6 years or so. I strongly encourage people in the diaspora to think, about investing back home. I mean, there's so many things going on right now. UK, if you're on social media a lot, there's a thing that say UK is bad vibes. You understand? So like everywhere, it's just things are more expensive. Yeah, things are expensive everywhere. But, sometimes you just feel like, okay, UK where things should be regulated is out of control right now. Things are just stupidly expensive. There's taxes, there's this, there's that. So, me, I'm ready to just, I just made the transition, over, so, and like I said, we've started this journey 10 years ago of just buying the land, so definitely somebody that's starting now that wants to go into the business, probably what we bought this land for 10 years ago is not what you're going to buy the land for right now. You understand? Obviously, exchange rate and everything also. So the longer you leave it, the more it might not be accessible to you. Do you understand? Because people are coming in and buying lands, buying all the lands. You don't want to be calling people out, but people are buying. They're grabbing lands everywhere you look. They're grabbing lands. They're buying. They're not buying. Let me buy one plot. They're buying like hundreds of acres, hectares, even. You understand? So, and very soon you just wake up and find that even Nigerians cannot afford to buy land in their own land again. You understand? Like abroad, you can't even buy land abroad unless you understand. Now your own home country, you can't afford to buy land also. Then that means you've lost both ways. You understand? So.
All right. So, have you ever regretted your decision to invest in Nigeria? See, you guys, I read your comments a lot, going through the comment section, most especially on Instagram. I have come to realize that a lot of Nigerians have actually given up on Nigeria, truly, like on 100%. Yeah. Like, they have given up on investing in Nigeria, right? So, have you ever regretted that decision?
Personally, no, I've not regretted, but I can understand why they would feel that way. I feel like there are like 2 or 3 elements that I feel go into people feeling that way. Number one, I would say is trust. finding the right people or the right person to trust to manage your business, because, you've labored, you've gone to work, you've sacrificed, a certain lifestyle to be able to save up, to invest, back home because you feel, okay, I want to come back home, you understand? So somebody that puts £20,000 into a business, and then you trust somebody to be in charge of it for you, and then they're giving you wrong information, or they even squander the money that you're giving them, immediately you feel betrayed. And as a result, you close up your mind, like, no, forget that country, you understand?
Yeah.
So people, even if the stuff is done, people giving you actual account of what's going on, especially, for example, poultry farming, maybe your birds might produce 50 crates of eggs, but they tell you that you produce 35 crates. So that 15, you already know how expensive feed is, you understand? So maybe your profit from that 50 crates is actually maybe 5 crates or 10 crates, but there's somebody that's taking your profit money away. Then you're not even into loss because you've taken extra 5 crates away as well, you understand? So it's like, so you'd be like, how can I be doing this business 1 year, 2 years, and we're not making any money? And again, the exchange rates also, and the way everything kind of fluctuates all the time was also, you can't really forecast a project. Okay, this project, building this structure now will cost me £10,000 at the time that you did your calculation, and then within a week that price has gone up. Those kind of things kind of really puts people off. So obviously, like the conversation of stabilizing the economy is not something that can be done quickly, but if there's a way to just regulate these prices, what I would say is, if you can find the right person, you have to go through maybe 2, 3, 4 people to find the right person for you. Sure, you get. But when you eventually find that person, it's worth it's worth the challenges that you go through. So my message to them is that don't give up, you understand? Just persevere, take your time, maybe start really small. So at least if the person that you put in charge, if they can do well with the small that you've given them, then you can grow, slowly, you get. So even if your plan is to have a massive farm, buy the land, but start on a very small part of it, you understand? Even if you can do 500 chicken, just to test how honest they are,
I'm shuttling between Nigeria and UK. Like, how do you manage your business?
I'm here. I told you earlier that we have like a team of people that work on the farm. So, and all of us are in the same group chats. Okay. So we communicate every day. So they send us their report on a daily basis. With the WhatsApp group, it's used to communicate. We have CCTV all over the farm, the feed mill, everywhere. So if the camera points, you can see CCTV, there's CCTV, and so everywhere has the cameras there to just ensure that we can just tap in and see what's going on. And the main thing really is trust. I told you earlier that it's hard to find people to trust, but I think so far we have a really good team that we're working together, and everybody's working for the greater good of the farm.
What advice do you have for intending poultry farmers?
The advice are many.
Okay.
But I think the common one is always start small.
Okay.
Start small so that way you build the experience. So just do it, level up every 6 months, every 1 year, whatever like that. So definitely start small. Speak to other farmers as well.
Did you start with 10,000?
Yes, actually. So we built the 2 pens, and we actually wanted to do fish ponds. So the idea behind that was, from the videos I was watching was, okay, when the birds poop, they have all these worms and everything like that. And so I was okay, if I have a fish pond, at least the waste is not, it's being used for something. But then when we started, it was, again, finding staffing was a challenge, and what I didn't want to do was have fish here, chicken here, but then the people that were managing the poultry side, if they're not doing to their best capacity, you're just adding more stress onto the workload, you understand? So we wanted to kind of roll things out in phases. So we now stopped the fishery side to just focus on the poultry side first. So welcome. So I was saying before that these are the birds that we raised ourselves from day old. Okay. So I think there's about 2,000 of them in number. So I remember I told you this is a 5,000 capacity pen. So we have about 2,000 of them now. I think they're almost like week 60, around week 60 right now. So that's their current age here.
What advice would you give to Nigerian youths or generally African youths out there? Sometimes
when you give advice, people will be like, you can give advice because you're from the UK. You can give advice because you're from, you understand? So it's hard to give advice, but really the basic of it is whatever you feel like doing, just do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the basic. So, you know, whatever you want to do, music, do. You want to do farming, do. Whatever, just do something. You know, the worst thing is to be alive and not have something that you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, idle hands is not good. You know, so whether you're farming and you're just growing corn, grow your corn. You know, in by doing and, you know, being diligent in that work, things will grow. You learn. Definitely, you will make mistakes along the way because it's part of the school of education. So whatever you want to do, just do it and, you know, learn along the way. So that's one of the stores, the shop,
Okay, that's
sorry.
the store.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
For storing the feeds.
yeah, for storing and selling, they'll just have like one maybe small chair there. And then this is where we're going to have the pharmacy.
You kind of just like have everything in one place, honestly.
You know, like I said, it's just like the challenges that we face, you know, every day. You know, this is our way of just helping other farmers not to go through the same headache, you know. So every time we need medication, we're always going to Lagos to go and buy.
Okay.
So by the time you use how much to go to Lagos and come back, you know, maybe you need something,
Yeah.
you know, emergency vaccination or something, you understand? So going that far is too much.
Yeah.
So we're just, you know, going to have the small pharmacy here. So anyone that wants to buy any medication, any tools, you know, for their farm, they'll be able to get it from here. And we'll have like a vet also working there. So if you're having any crisis with your birds, just ask them for advice. You understand? What can I do? Okay, buy the drugs, quickly go to your farm and apply the medication, you know. So I guess our only two way of supporting the community of farmers and making sure that they don't, you know, go through
What you went
go through the challenges that we went through. Yes.
I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. That will be all for this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share this video, and leave a nice comment. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.